Hi everyone, so in this video I will talk about modulation by enharmonic reinterpretation of the 5/7 chord, meaning 5/7 can become a German in a key a half step away, or 5/7-4 would become a German in a key a major third away. So I will go through each scenario for you starting now. There are three types of pivot chords we will focus on using the 5/7 enharmonically. The first is when 5/7 becomes the German in the new key, which is a half step lower than the original. The second is when the German becomes the 5/7 and the key would be a half step above. Lastly is when we have a 5/7-4 becomes the German in a key a major third above the original key. Let's take a closer look at each three of these pivot chords. The first pivot is when 5/7 becomes the German. For example, if I'm in C major, 5/7 is G, B, D, F, and G is lay in the key of B minor or B major, making it the German of that key. As you can see, I have the F, which is respelled as E sharp for the German or sharp 4 in B minor or B major. Let's listen to what a chord progression would be when 5/7 becomes the German. The second possibility is when the German becomes the 5/7. So if I'm in C major, the German augmented sixth chord built on lay is A flat, C, E flat, F sharp, which is F, and that becomes the 5/7 in the key a half step above. So that can be D flat major or minor, or C sharp major or minor. Let's listen to this chord progression using the German becoming the 5/7 as a pivot. The last pivot we have is when the 5/7-4 becomes the German augmented sixth chord. So in C major, 5/7-4 built on scale degree 1, which is C, E, G, B flat, becomes the German in the key a major third above tonic. So a major third above C is E. So E major or E minor. So C is now lay, and B flat becomes A sharp, which is sharp 4. Let's listen to a progression where 5/7-4 becomes the German augmented sixth chord. So now that I have explained the pivots, a couple of things to keep in mind. Your pivot chord will only be spelled one way. So it would either be spelled as a 5/7 of the first key or second key, or as the German. So you won't get it spelled two ways. Meaning the chordal seventh of the 5/7 is the note that gets reinterpreted enharmonically as sharp 4. So keep that in mind. And also, that note will resolve outward, so it will resolve up. I know typically the quarter seventh resolves down, but in this case it will resolve up because it becomes Fi. So if you have any questions, feel free to email me or Aaron.